We are all so tired. How not to? Constant stimulation, interrupted sleep patterns, low quality diets, sedentary lifestyle. But in this video, I want to zoom in on the ones that hit women the hardest. The things that made me feel like a zombie before I figured them out. Hi, I am Merve Sedin, a former lawyer turned dietitian specializing in sport nutrition and eating behaviors. Welcome. Okay, let's start with the first one. Iron deficiency anemia. Before rolling your eyes and click away from this video, listen up. Did you know that around 30% of women globally are suffering from anemia? And the iron deficiency rate is even higher. Do you know what does it mean? Nearly 1 in 3 of us are walking around as our dumb selves. I know it sounds a little harsh, but iron is the key for red blood cells to carry oxygen to tissues. The lower iron levels mean that we cannot carry enough oxygen to the brain, which can result in impaired cognitive performance, trouble focusing, decreased learning capacity, brain fog, and chronic fatigue. I've always had anemia. In fact, I was born with an inherited form called thalassemia minor. And for years, although I knew the effects, I didn't comprehend the consequences enough because it was my normal. I thought feeling drained all the time was normal. Until I started studying nutrition, I realized how much deficiency was holding me back. When I finally began paying attention to my iron intake, boom, things changed. I felt less tired, less distracted, and I could think clearly again. Iron deficiency is a serious public health concern, especially for women. And when it comes to active women, the risk is even higher, as iron can be lost through sweat. So I highly recommend getting your blood work done and supplement if your doctor advises you to do so. But of course, for prevention, food always comes first. So consider incorporating iron-rich sources like red meat or plant-based options like leafy greens, especially spinach, lentils, beans, pumpkin seeds, carrot powder. By the way, if you want to see a whole separate video about anemia, drop a comment. I can make a more in-depth video about it. See, iron deficiency has a huge impact on energy, but I want to share another hack with you that kinda ties to this topic. In the near past, when a woman starts working out, it will be an endurance style exercise, like a calorie burning focused HIIT cardio or running. Because for years, we were convinced that it was the only way to go, as if we always have to burn calories rather than getting stronger. So I remember I would push myself to the point that feeling drained and even close to blacking out sometimes. And it will affect me throughout the day. I would feel exhausted all day long. When I started strength training, my life completely changed. Because building muscle through strength training increases the density of mitochondria and capillaries in muscle tissue. This improves oxygen acceleration and utilization, meaning muscles become more efficient with the oxygen delivered by blood. And this translated as less fatigue, more resilience, and energy for me. Building muscle through resistance training and body composition can also increase insulin sensitivity, which in turn can contribute to prevent blood sugar crashes, thwarting sluggishness and tiredness. So this is your sign to start strength training to have your energy back. Micronutrients are often overlooked components, especially in the diet culture and fitness world. However, their deficiency is the biggest culprits of the negative symptoms we daily have. Take magnesium, for example. Especially in active individuals, we very often see tiredness and lack of focus due to magnesium deficiency. That's why I advocate comprehensive diet. Eating in variety, colorful foods prevents you from falling short for any nutrients. And plus, since you nourish your body properly, you won't have cravings. When your body is satisfied with nutrients, you will feel satiated. And you will feel mental capacity to conquer anything that comes to your way. On top of that, colorful meals mean more antioxidant and fiber. Antioxidants reduce inflammation in your body, and fiber breeds your gut microbiota. They turn fiber into short-chain fatty acids, which is a crucial metabolite for many systems in the body, and all of which translates as less tiredness and more energy. So colorful plates not just energize your eyes, but actually they replace a handful supplements you take daily. It's incredible to think that in today's world, how much mental load we face throughout the day. We are living in a world where we have to make almost 35,000 decisions every single day and get bombarded with trillions of bits of information. And you know what? All of it costs energy. So much energy. With every stimulation, every decision, we burn a part of our mental resource. All those mental loads piled up and cause an exhaustion called decision fatigue. People often think tiredness only comes from physical effort, a hard workout, a long run, or a sleepless night. But mental exhaustion is just as real. In fact, studies show that when your brain is drained from constant decision making, your self-control, your focus, and willpower plummet. Decision fatigue is basically our brain's battery running down. Every post we see on social media, every notification checked, every "what should I wear today" question chips away at our mental energy. By the end of the day, it's not that our muscles are tired, it's our prefrontal cortex that is fired. That's why we might feel physically fine but still collapse on couch with no power left. If you're someone like me who ponders for even details, well, this modern life feels a little too much oftentimes. So to beat it, I am actively trying to reduce the number of unnecessary choices, like pre-planning my meals, limiting notifications, designing my environment with minimalism, and even wearing simple style of clothing. Every decision we don't have to make frees up mental energy for the ones that really matter. On top of this mental load, as women, we have to carry the burden of our hormones. A woman's body is completely different than a man's. Acknowledging this fact and working together with our body's natural rhythm is crucial for how we take care of our health. Recent studies suggest the impacts of menstrual cycle on energy, sleep, and mood, all of which affect physical and mental performance. People often think PMS fatigue and mood swings are just in our head, but science proves that they are actually real. Hormonal shifts across the cycle change how we metabolize energy, recover from exercise, and even how well we sleep. In the follicular phase, that's roughly the first half of the cycle, estrogen rises. Estrogen supports muscle recovery, coordination, and sometimes even boosts motivation. That's why many women feel stronger and more energized during this window. But in the luteal phase, in the second half, progesterone rises and body temperature increases. This can reduce endurance, affect sleep quality, and cause that heavy fatigue many of us feel. Add menstrual blood loss and iron deficiency, it's no wonder why we have those energy dips. I used to beat myself up when I felt physically weak, and my mental performance was not at its best. In fact, even speaking articulately feels harder on some days than on others. Once I started tracking my cycle, I realized those fluctuations are synchronized with my hormonal changes. The same manifestations keep showing up in the same weeks. Understanding this made me more aware of my body, and instead of fighting with my biology, I began approaching myself with more compassion. It's okay not to perform at peak all the time. Sometimes it's okay to let yourself rest and repair. And just accept this is our biology. By the way, I don't agree with the recent social media buzz, like cycle syncing or training according to your cycle. These ideas are not scientifically backed. In fact, recent studies suggest hormonal fluctuations are highly individual. And the best approach is listening to your body and do what works for you best. Cycle syncing rules like strength training in follicular phase, etc., lack strong evidence. The best thing you can do, keeping a journal and understand your body's own patterns. Okay, I covered low energy availability in this video, and I'm planning to make another video for hypothalamic amenorrhea. So this topic is so important for me because I've suffered from hypothalamic amenorrhea for years, and as a dietitian, I feel like it's my job to help others on this. But for this video, I just want to touch on that. If you're training hard and not fueling your body enough, this is one of the biggest culprits of tiredness. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I feel a little exhausted after this video, so I'm gonna go and prepare myself a colorful plate. I need some vitamins. Do not forget to subscribe to see more content from me. As always, I hope you give the nourishment you deserve to your mind, body, and soul. See you.